All right. So this person asked the question is, how many monthly transactions per client can bookkeepers process? So one of the things that we looked at when we did a capacity study is we looked at what our average client, our average transactions were. And to be honest with you, I don't remember off the top of my head exactly. Let me just look at what I can do is I can look it up. Let me just look at our accuracy scorecard, because what I can tell you is our accuracy scorecard will tell me how many clients, how many transactions we have. So what I would say is we usually tend to see, we'll look at transaction count. All right, perfect. So I would say our average transactions per client is usually about, 340 transactions per client is what we see. And what we did is we ended up looking at kind of a capacity, building it off of that, of saying, hey, 344 transactions, if that's the average number of transactions per client based on the size of clients that we work with, we then said, okay, all right, how long does it take to classify that many transactions based on our processes? And then what we identified is said, okay, all right, what does a realistic capacity look like? Because if we know 344 is the average, we know how long it takes to classify 344 transactions, then we can kind of back into what does the capacity look like for a bookkeeper? Like, how many clients do we expect a bookkeeper to be able to support? And the question they ask is, does this include reconciliations and financial reports to issues? And I would say, yes, we included all of that when we did our capacity study. We said, how long does it take to classify these transactions? How long does it take to do the preliminary financial statement review? And we also said, how long does it take to do the reconciliations? And once we looked at that capacity study and we said, how long does it take to do that? What we started to also do is figure out, like, okay, how can we use automation to actually speed that process up? How can we start to use some of the auto classify features? And then also, how could we automate some of the financial statement like review process? And we started creating templates that allowed us to speed that process up. And as we did that, what we realized is the number of clients that a bookkeeper could support actually increased dramatically by being very smart and very diligent about making our processes more efficient.